everyone, this is an update on my poker road of 2020. Week 1, I played about 70 tournaments. I made the money 12 times, including satellites. On January the 1st, I was on 2 final tables at the same time. The first tournament was about a $10 tournament. It's a rebuy tournament. 135 players. I made it to top 4 and we made a deal. At the time I was 4th in chips and I got $165. The second tournament I was heads up when I made the deal. 76 players. I got $96. The first tournament was 135 players. Played a few cash games, both No Limit Hold'em and Omaha Hi-Lo, and I played a very small number of $10 heads up and 3-player sit and goes where normally winner takes all. That's not worth mentioning. It was a very small number. Overall, I started my bankroll on the 1st of the year with $627 and I ended with $758.06. So I made $131. That's my primary site. My other site, which is Bitcoin based, I made about $40. And this is Canadian money. And was also mostly tournaments. There are a bunch of free rolls and stuff like that. Pot Limit Omaha Hi-Lo, it's one of my favorite games. I will include a hand I played this week to end this video with. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you if you watched all the way. And until next time, good luck and take care. This will be the last take. Okay, this is the first time I do this. I hope it turns out pleasant enough to the ears and to the eyes. So, playing Pot Limit Omaha Hi-Lo cash games. We're sitting in the small blind with this hand. The first 3 players folded. The mug cold, Coke can cold, and the toilet paper cold. The button folded. And I raise to 5 big blinds. Chuck Norris, that's really his name, immediately called. The mug cold, the Coke can folded, and the toilet paper folded. And the board comes 8, 8, 7. I have trip 8s, the nut flush draw, but I'm not exactly happy with it. Because I'm first to act, there are all kind of low draws that will beat me. The best 2 cards for me would be the 8 and the ace. If the 8 comes, I'm happy with it. If the ace comes, I'm not, because chances are someone has a low draw and now I'm splitting the pot. So if I can win it right there or at any point, like maybe on the turn or the river with a big bet, depending on what happens, of course, eventually, I will be happy with it. In other words, I'm not exactly thrilled with that board. So I bet, waiting for my replayer, which is not very convenient at all, the one on the main side that I use. I bet 95 big blinds into 20 big blinds, and the big blind calls quickly, I believe. You see, when I'm playing and I'm in, like, quote, the zone, I have a lot more information in my head than when I look at the hand later. So we go heads up, and now the pot is 38 big blinds. And I bet 16 big blinds, and he calls right away. And the turn is the 10 of clubs. And I make, like I said, 16 big blind bet, and he calls. Now on the river, it was the jack. Now all kind of hands beat me, right? But all kind of hands also missed, because I was always assuming that he's on a low draw and possibly a flush draw with it, based on the speed that he's playing and just the information I had about the player at the time, and obviously because we want to think that we are ahead, because that's always the bias in poker. You always try to think why you are ahead. Oh, that's for another topic. So now I can check, and if I think he's bluffing, I'm gonna call him. I can bet the max. So we had both about, so there was about 68 big blinds, and we both had about 68 big blinds behind. So I can bet the max, and if he has nothing, he has to fold, so I lose value. I can bet a little bit to either get some kind of value from some hands, maybe, you know, a worse 8, like 8, 2, 3, 4, or an 8 that didn't make a straight, or a full house. But if he has an 8, there's just as good a chance he made a full house, basically. I can check, like I said, and wait for him to bet big if he's bluffing, if he missed, which will be fine too. Or I can make a small bet and prevent him from bluffing me, or try to, and see what he does. So that's what I did. I made a small bet, and plays like that, you see them pretty often in Omaha Hi-Lo. So I made this a 10 big blind bet, and he shoves. I forgot how quickly I called him, but I called him. And he had this hand: 2 of hearts, king of hearts, jack of clubs, and 4 of clubs. So he had 2-4 for a low draw, and he had king high flush draw. Now, do I like his play? Let's analyze his play and see what he may be assuming about me. Now, the thing is, when I'm playing, I factor in whatever information I have available for me. So sometimes, you know, if I've been watching him lose, or if I've been watching him win, or what kind of a player he essentially is, what kind of a psychological fabric I believe he has, and so on. So right now, just like, I cannot get into all of it because I'm like standing up and not thinking about all that at this moment, but I think about all that when I play. Whatever I can factor in, I do, especially that the main site I play on does not allow HUDs, like trackers. So I rely a lot on the notes and on the history between me and specific players, or just observing them. In this case, he figured that maybe he can get me off a lot of hands. Maybe he can get me off trips, and he would be right. Pair of aces, he would be right, because I made a straight. He thinks that even if I have like a low straight, I can get away from it, because my bet was indeed weak. So now I know that this is a good play to make this against this player. Chances are he's not gonna be writing notes, because they are lazy, and therefore next time I'm in a situation like that against him, in this specific scenario, especially if my hand is a little bit stronger, I will bet, like in this case, my hand is pretty weak, you know, all kind of straight. Like any 6 basically there made the straight. 6-9, sorry, like 6-9 made a straight. Any 9 made a straight, like 9-6, 9 queen, 9-7, 9-10, 9 jack. The full houses got there, but what are the chances he has like jacks full or 10s full or something? If he has 10s full, unless he has ace 2 with it, he's probably gonna raise big on the turn, especially that he does know how to play. If he has pretty much any full houses he's gonna raise the turn again, unless he has very good low cards with it. So the only hand pretty much I'm worried about there is some hand like Jack, Jack, Ace, Deuce. But because the chances of him having that is extremely low, I see no reason to fold. And although all these straights that I listed beat me, chances are he's not gonna make a raise like that, unless he's just like clicking buttons, or unless he thinks I will call him with a random 8 or a pair of aces. Which chances are he's not gonna do that. He will be happy with a pot there. It was by then 70 big blinds. He's not gonna risk doing it with a straight and losing to a full house. He would have been very happy to call. So this is as much as I fit in right now with this analysis. I should end this video before I ruin it. And that would be all for now until next week. Good luck at the tables. Bye-bye.